Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Heather, and in today's video I am very excited to show you 10 free Halloween crochet patterns that you can make this fall just for decoration, or if you're doing craft shows, these would also be really good makes for craft shows because they are not super big projects, so they don't take it too long to whip up, and most of them are no-sew. 3 of the plushies that I'm going to show you I made last year, and the rest of them I all made this year for the first time. So all these patterns are tried and tested, and they all are super cute, so I'm really excited to show you all 10 patterns, and these are all free patterns that you can find on Instagram. And I have my notebook here with me, and I wrote all the pattern designers down, so I will let you know as I go through all of the crochet plushies to tell you the pattern designers, and I also will have them in the description below. So I have this cute little basket here, and it has all 10 plushies in it, so you get a little sneak peek, but I'm going to go through them all one by one and just kind of talk about if it's no-sew, low-sew, etc., and let you know my thoughts. So I'm going to first do the 3 patterns that I made last year, and then I'll show you all the new ones that I made for this year. First, we have this cute little ghost here, and this pattern is by Crochet with Faye. A lot of people have probably already seen this one because it's a pretty popular pattern, and a lot of people have made this ghost. But it's a no-sew ghost, so it whips up pretty quickly, so this would be a really good market make if you have a craft show this fall. If I had one this fall, I would definitely be making lots of these, but both of my craft shows are after Halloween, so it doesn't really make sense for me to make them. I definitely need to be making Christmas plushies though, so I gotta get on that. But this is the cute little ghost. And then the next pattern we have is this cute little candy corn, and this one is by magic_filament, and this one whips up pretty quick as well. And the last pattern that I made last year is this adorable pumpkin, and this one is by 1 Cent Crochet, and I think this one is so cute. I had this one on my desk last fall and it looked adorable, so I think this would be a really good one if you need something to decorate your desk, or you want to give it to like a coworker or something to put on their desk. I think this would be a really good thing to make. And then next we have this bat, and this one is by Naomi._.crochet. You do have to sew for this one. You have to sew on the ears and the wings, but it doesn't take too long. This one whips up pretty quick as well because it's not super big, and I did not mind sewing on the ears or the wings at all, and I think he is really cute. So that is my cute little bat. And next we have this ghost pumpkin, and this one is by Tinkering Crochet, and this one you actually make all in one piece, so you don't have to sew anything for it, which is kind of surprising because looking at it you would think you might have to sew something, but you don't. So you start with the stem and you work your way down, so you'll color change to white for the ghost and then color change to orange for the pumpkin, and then for the vine you just slip knot a piece of green yarn on there, chain, and go back, so you don't have to sew that on. The only thing that you have to like sew is to sew the ridges in the pumpkin with a piece of yarn, but I mean you don't really have to sew anything on, you're just shaping the pumpkin, so I don't even know if you would really count that as sewing, but you do have to do that. So anyway, there is this cute little ghost pumpkin, and he is really cute, and I think this would be another good market make because you don't really have to sew anything, so it didn't take too long to make. And then next we have a similar idea. We have a cat in a pumpkin, and this one is by Ellie Yarn Art, and they also have a bear version of the pattern, so it's a pumpkin and a bear, but it has a witch hat, so it's another thing you could make if you want to make that as well, with a different version of the pattern. I did not make that one, but you could if you wanted to, so I just thought I would mention that in case anyone wants to make that one, but you do have to sew quite a bit with how the pattern is written. So you have to sew the ears on, the pumpkin hat, and then the stem is separate as well, and then you sew the cat onto the pumpkin. So it's kind of interesting how you have to sew quite a bit for this one, but for this one it's all worked up in one piece, and they're like similar ideas. So I feel like if you wanted to, you could probably like make this one so you don't have to sew it. Besides like the ears, you'd have to sew the ears on, but you could, you know, do it like the ghost where you don't have to sew the cat on. If I did it again, I probably would do it like that just to make it a little bit quicker, especially if I was making it for a market. But I did not follow the pattern exactly to a T for the cat, as I did want to mention that because it might look slightly different. For the pumpkin, I did it exactly how the pattern was written, but for the cat body, I did it a little bit differently because I started doing it and it was like not exactly looking right. So I did freehand the cat body, and for the pumpkin hat, the pattern designer has you make the stem separately and then sew it onto the hat and sew the hat on. But I just color changed so that I wouldn't have to sew the stem on to the pumpkin hat and then sew that on as well. So yeah, I did that a little bit different in the cat body, but everything else I did exactly how the pattern was written. And that is how the cute pumpkin cat turned out. And next we have this spider here, and this one is by Bunny's Creations 2000, and it is a no-sew pattern, so this would be another good market make. And I really like how it has 4 eyes. I think it looks super cool, and I like the 2 different yarn colors that I use. For the head, I obviously use black, but then for the body, I use black tweed. And this turned out way bigger than I thought it was going to be based off of the pattern picture. It turned out pretty big, so definitely a really good size spider. Next we have this super cute Jellycat inspired pumpkin, and this one is by Spammy Crochets, and this one is actually no-sew, surprisingly. So you start with the stem and then you color change to the orange for the body of the pumpkin, and you make the feet separately first so they are crocheted in as you go, which is really nice. You don't have to sew those on. And I think this one is super cute, and I like the little legs, how they dangle, but then if you sit it down, they like squat out like this and it looks like it's sitting. So this is another cute little desk friend, and I will definitely be having this one on my desk for this fall. And next we have this adorable teddy bear ghost, and this one is so cute. And this one I will say is the only one that's not super market friendly because it is quite a bit of sewing. You have to sew on the ears, the arms, the legs, and the nose. So if you don't like sewing, this one might not be the best pattern for you, but I think it is definitely worth it because the end result is so cute. And if you don't mind sewing, I feel like it would be a really good market make because people would, I think, really like it. But yeah, I did want to mention you do have to sew quite a bit. And the pumpkin basket, the pattern designer has you sew that onto the hand, but I did not sew mine on because I want it to be like interactive, so you can take the pumpkin basket on and off of the bear's arm if you wanted to, or you could sew it on, but I didn't. So that is this adorable bear in a ghost costume. Definitely also be having this one on my desk. Honestly, probably will have most of these on my desk. And lastly, the last pattern I have here to show you is the last one I made while I was making all of these fall patterns. And I was trying to find one more pattern because I wanted to have 10. And I found this one and I was like, that's definitely the one I'm going to make because it is adorable. And it is this cute dog in a ghost costume. And this one is by D Dotting, so it's D-D-O-D-I-N-G. And it is adorable. I especially love the cute little pumpkin basket. And for that, I use some felt to make the face. I just use some scissors and cut out the eyes and the mouth and glued them onto the basket. And I just think it's adorable how it's hanging from its mouth. And this one's kind of interesting how it's worked up because you make the head of the dog first and then you make the ghost costume and the ears. and you put the head in the ghost costume when you're done making it, and then sew the ears on. And for the bottom, it's actually like there's like nothing in there besides the head, because you just take some white yarn and string it through and like sew the pleats of the ghost costume basically. So yeah, kind of interesting how that one's worked up, but the end result is so cute. If I had a full craft show, I would definitely be making lots of these as well, because I think people would really love it. And I think this one might be my favorite. I don't know, there's a lot of cute ones. You'll have to let me know if you had a favorite plushie in this video. And also let me know if you make any of these, because they are all super cute. So those are all 10 free Halloween crochet patterns that I have to show you guys. And hopefully this inspired you if you were looking for some things to make this fall or some things to make for craft show. And thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one.